Welcome to this week's Dream Car judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's Will from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the verification company Primo Veritas. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name's Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I played football for more than 30 years and I'm also a referee.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee and referee coach. I'm currently keeping active as a matchday referee observer.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, retired professional footballer. I'm now operations manager at Tottenham Hotspur Academy.
Hello, my name is Wendy Martin. I previously played for Tottenham Hotspur Ladies and beach soccer for England and Team GB.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 8 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Will. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, Jenna, it's your turn this week to explain what you're seeing in the photograph. There's your light blue cross that's magnified. So if you could tell us what you're seeing in the photograph, trajectory of the ball, and then how you reached your decision, please.
Yeah, two players in the centre of the picture. I felt the ball was coming in from right to left, dropping in quite steeply. Firstly, I looked at the player in blue. His arms were up. He looks like he's trying to get up off the ground to make contact with his head. But as you can see, the player in the darker shirt behind him, burgundy shirt, has both hands on his right arm above, bringing him down. I took a line up from the player in blue's eyes. You can see lots of whites underneath there. I took a line up from that eye there that you're hovering over and his forehead. I thought his head was tilted back and the ball was about to just pass over him. He's not been able to leave the ground there due to his opponent pulling him back down. And then looking at the other player, he's got one strong eye, which I took a line up from. You can see he's tensed, his face is tensed. Just take a line straight up from him, and that's where I've got my cross. I think there's an official or a coach in the background who seems to be looking at the ball, but he's quite blurred. So for me, I think player in blue is trying to get up to head of the ball. He's not going to make it, and it's going to pass over him.
So there's no favourite.
I imagine a foul will be given.
Yeah, so the ball's just going to travel over the top of the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you. So I'll draw some lines up first from the player in blue up through yours, Jenna. And then you have Kieran over to the right. And then again from player in burgundy. So I think I'll work my way up this week. So Wendy, that means you're next. Yours, your pink cross there. A little bit lower than Anna's. So how did you see this photo? Did you agree with Jenna?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. For me, I think the player in blue is still favourite to win the ball, even though he's under sort of a bit of pressure. He's being sort of pulled back down by the player in the claret behind. I think ball's coming in right from left, but dropping in quite steeply. The player in blue's got quite a lot of sort of white under his eyes, head sort of tilted back. But I do think, although he's under pressure, I think he's still going to get a head on the ball, as I think it's sort of dropping in sort of directly to him. I took the height of the ball from the player in claret at the back. He's again head's tilted back slightly. There isn't really any white under his eyes. So I think he's looking just over the top of the player in blue. But I didn't feel that he's looking that steeply. So that's how I got the height of the ball as well.
Great, thank you very much. So Alain, you're next. You're just to the right and a tiny bit above Wendy's. Did you see it differently?
Yeah, no, quite similar to Wendy. I think the ball is going from right to left. The player in black and blue, he's got his arms up. I think he's trying to to jump. He's trying to take off. He's being held by the player in burgundy behind him. But the player in burgundy doesn't seem to have a strong grip on him. So he might be able to take off a bit, and just enough to flick this ball. I think that's the intention, probably to flick the ball. I'm not sure the player in burgundy is trying to play the ball. I think he's more focused on holding the player in black and blue, even though sometimes you see defenders in this position just focusing on the striker and leaving the ball pass above them. So I don't see really an intention in the burgundy player to head the ball. But looking at the eye lines, we see quite lots of white under the eyes of the player in black and blue. So he's looking quite steeply. I thought the player in burgundy actually was looking, flattish, not that steep. I went, basically slightly above, the level of his head. And that gave me the center of the ball.
Great. Thank you. So you blue favourite, just to clarify that?
Blue, yeah, blue.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And moving on upwards on the same trajectory from from the player in burgundy or claret at the back is yours, Andy. There's your yellow cross that's magnified. How did you see the photo?
Thanks, Matt. Pretty much similar. The only sort of things I will add into mine is that you're very, very sharp northeasterly, almost along the line that you've drawn, the right-hand line, the eye line from the guy in blue. To me, that's a trajectory that the ball is coming down on, a real straight, sort of steep line down. I don't think he's going to jump for the ball. I think he's got his arms out, standing his ground for me, because the ball's coming in far too sharply. And it's almost there, but I think he's standing his ground. He's either going to try and control it, not on his chest. He's either going to try and bring it down with his foot. But for me, he's just holding his ground and is favourite for the ball. The guy in burgundy behind him is trying to pull him back. He knows he can't get to the ball. So for me, as I said, he's got no chance of getting the ball at all. But regarding the eye lines, exactly the same as what Wendy and Alan have said from the guy in burgundy. It's that flat line looking just above the guy in blue's head, and also from the guy in blue, as I say, looking up as sharp as he possibly can. He's slightly leaning back, and again, as I say, he's just looking up and exactly on that line that you've drawn from top to bottom.
Okay, thank you. And although you're a little bit lower, Liam, I'm going to go on the same trajectory line up and take Kieran's next. There's your orange cross, Kieran, a little bit further away, but it's again on that same line as Andy's just mentioned from the player in burgundy, a bit further to the right. How did you see the photo? Any different?
Thanks, Matt. Fairly similar. I do agree with the player in burgundy and blue. That's the eye line that I saw for him. So that's why I've got my cross on that line. The player in black and blue, I think, is his head's not tilted that far backwards. And so therefore he's looking a little bit in front of him. I think, again, this not being able to look through your eyebrows. And I think he's just looking that little bit further in front. I'm not sure about how the ball is coming in. I agree it's coming in from right to left, but whether it's coming in that steeply, I'm not sure. I did wonder, we could see the head of somebody in the background between the two players, and that seems to be close to the touchline, whether it might have been a throw-in coming in. There doesn't seem to be anything else contesting the ball, but I think blue is favourite. Burgundy and blue is just trying to interfere. Not quite sure how the player in black and blue is going to play the ball because of the interference, but that's why I placed my cross where it is.
Thank you. And now moving across to the left a little bit more central is yours, Liam. There you go, your purple cross there in the middle. How did you see it?
Yes, thanks. Good morning, Matt. Wow, we've had some different scenarios. So I'm going to throw you another one. I think the Reds' favourite is my when I looked at the picture this morning. Yeah, I think the red. I think he's going to be that typical dirty defender. He's he's going to get the arm in there, and he's having the little foul before the ball drops in enough so he can the referee will miss it, and I think he's going to come over the top and head the ball. So there you go. There's my little scenario for you. And again, I agree. The guys, I think the ball's coming in pretty steeply. That blue, he's looking up. He's up. We've got white under his eyes, gives us clear evidence that he's looking up but into his foreground. Agree with Kieran about not looking through his forehead, etc., etc. So that was my line from the guy in blue, and then the guy in the claret or the red. Sorry, should I say? I went realistically with 45 degrees from him, looking up over. And yeah, because as I said, I felt the ball was coming in steeply, and yeah, that's me.
Great, thank you. Moving across is my own. They're a little bit higher and a tiny bit to the left. Yes, I saw it a similar way. I think the ball's coming in; it's dropping in quite steeply. For me, it's just in front of the player in blue and black, who's looking up towards the ball. And as it was said before, there's as Alain said, the grip for me on his shoulder doesn't like he's in full control. It's more of his fingers. And Alain also said that the player in blue and black should be able to wrestle his way away from this this interference in my view. And I think he's going to go up and just sort of flick the header on. This player's obviously looking up towards the ball. I've gone slightly higher. I just thought that with this grimacing face, he's looking a little bit above. And for me, I could see a little bit of white under that eye. It's difficult. It's not a very clear eye. And I just cross-referenced the two eye lines for me and reached my decision that way. And moving on up, a little bit further to left is yours, Jenna. There's your light blue cross. But actually, no, we've seen you. Beg your pardon. That's my mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4. And moving on up is yours, Hugh. There's your green cross there. That's magnified a little bit higher than my own on the same sort of line. How did you see the picture?
Matt, yeah, agree with a lot of what's been said. I think the player in blue and black for me is in a better position. He's kind of got himself set, and I think he's prepared to jump and meet this. I do think it's out in front of him, and he's got himself in the best position. I do think the player in burgundy at the back is going to try and challenge for this. I think he is going to try and jump almost over the top using those arms on the player in blue to hold him down. So as Jenna said, I think it probably is going to be a foul if it isn't played by the blue and black. But for me, I think, yeah, there's a bit of height under the player in blue and black's eye line, and I think he's in a better position to play the ball, but I do think it'll be contested.
Yeah, thank you. So we're all in agreement the ball's going right to left. Some of us think it's coming in quite steeply, others a little bit bit less steeply, for want of a better description. All in agreement, apart from Liam, that the player in blue and black is going to play it somehow. We have Andy saying the blue player is going to control the ball, whether it's with his foot, chest. And we've got a few flicked headers, some other headers, and we have Liam saying the player in red, claret, or burgundy at the back here is going to come over the top and head the ball. So we've got a slight split. If I draw a middle line up, as we do through the calculated average, you'll see 3 above, there's 5 below from the player in claret for me at the back. And then there's a fairly even split 4 and 4 looking up from the player in blue and black. So if I hover over the top of this calculated average, we see we've got sort of a satellite around. We have 5 of us popping out at various stages, and sort of 3 within the magnifier. It should be said the magnifier looks a little bit big this week as opposed to being small, which it is sometimes. So I just think I'm going to come through you all and just see whether you'd like to see what it looks like with certain people removed, or indeed are happy with the scenarios that we've all given, whether we're happy at this calculated average with everybody's taken into consideration. And I would say, bearing in mind, there's a sort of a satellite around the calculated average. So Hugh, what's your thoughts?
I'm happy with where it is personally. I think it's a good average in terms of height, and I think there's no kind of clear outlier. I think there's a couple touching the edge, so I would say with the average for me today.
Yeah. Andy?
Can I just have a look at it with Jenna's taken out, please? For me, that's a better average for personally for me.
Okay, so I've popped Jenna back in. Alain, what is your thoughts on this?
No. Today we don't have like a clear cluster, and also I think every explanation was credible. So I would keep everyone. So keep the average as it is. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Kieran.
Yeah, for me, I'd take Jenna's out. I think it's too steep from the player in black and blue, and the player in burgundy and blue is looking on a line where 4 or 5 of us are on that line. So I would take her out.
Okay, thank you. Liam?
Yeah, apologies, Jenna. I agree with Kieran and Andy this morning. I think that's just too steeply looking up through. It's very hard to look that vertically. So I would take Jenna out, please, Matt.
Yep. Jenna?
I'd keep everyone in. I don't think there's a clear cluster, and as you said, there's a few crosses popping out. So I'm happy as it is.
Yeah. Wendy?
I think I do like the average where it is, and I think we are all in touching distance, so there's no sort of standout that's sort of a long way away. So I think I'd keep the average where it is as well.
Thank you. And that leaves myself. I'm going to stick with Jenna being there, not because I think the ball's in that direction, but if I remove Jenna, it's further away from me. But more importantly, I think where the calculated average is now, with the satellites round this magnifier, is important to look. So I'm going to stick with the average as well. So Will, after a really good discussion about what we're seeing in the photographs and differing opinions about what we're seeing, but basically we've agreed as a panel to judge at this calculated average with all 8 judges taken into consideration.
Fantastic. If you're all happy, then please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are x2825, y1611. These coordinates will now be passed to the verification company Premo Veritas to calculate the winner of the competition, who will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.